Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Idris said he's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is SOUQ business landscape.
This is SVL, SOUQ Business Landscape, and if you're watching us, you're catching us live from SOUQ News. We are reaching you right from one of the tallest buildings in West Africa and the most beautiful city you can ever think of. Find out for yourself. Now, today we'll be looking at the tax reforms as it concerns the 5% fuel surcharge. A lot of people have argued for, against, and as we speak, some people are thinking of going on strike because of it. We want to also hear from you. What's your take on this? We will talk majorly. How is business affecting you? How has money been put on your table, your pocket, your country? How are they gaining? Losing out from what's happening on the other side of the continent. It's all about movement, development, business. China is the highest producer of soybeans. Why are we not? Why is Africa not? These are issues we'll be talking about. There are several other things we'll also be looking at. So you need to be here. Don't go anywhere. My name is SOUQ, John Rogers SOUQ, and on this table that is personified, I have the beautiful one here today to start the show with us. Your Excellencies, join me as I welcome Swift.
Good morning, Mr. SOUQ. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank
you. I love the tie. You look good, by the way.
Thank you.
Good morning, Doctor. Welcome back into the country. No, Doctor abandoned us, but thank God that we're back.
Yes.
You can't remember.
Confessions.
We are going to drag this. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. Let's get ready to dilate and, you know, enjoy the best of the best when it comes to trending topics and have an amazing time with us on SBL.
Okay, you're welcome back. Now, we also have someone that decided to travel around the world. These are what elites do. Please join me as I welcome back to this table the Oracle himself. Dr. Zamanze, you're welcome, sir.
Good Nigeria. Good to be here, SOUQ. Honestly, I don't know who I lead, and maybe as the program progresses, we will find out. And really lit.
Okay. Yes.
The movers and the shakers of.
Now you get to know what we are talking about with the amount of stamps on your passport. That's why you know who you are. Yes. Let's get straight to the tax reform. FG clarifies 5% fuel surcharge. Now the federal government has clarified that the 5% surcharge on fuel included in the new tax law is not a fresh levy introduced by the Tinubu administration, but a restatement of an existing provision under the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, Act of 2007. Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, explained that the surcharge was incorporated into the new Nigerian Tax Act for harmonization and transparency, not immediate implementation. He noted that proceeds from the charge are designed as a dedicated fund for road maintenance and infrastructure, which would reduce travel time, lower logistics costs, and ease vehicle repairs. Oyedele stressed that the surcharge will not apply to household kerosene, LPG, compressed natural gas, or other clean energy products, in line with Nigeria's energy transition agenda. He added that subsidy savings alone cannot cover Nigeria's road infrastructure need. Hence, the importance of a dedicated road fund to ease public concerns. Oyedele highlighted that the government has already scrapped or suspended several levies, including VAT on fuel, excise on telecoms, and cybersecurity levy to reduce the tax burden on households and small businesses. He emphasized that harmonizing the surcharge under the new tax framework ensures predictability in road financing and creates a forward-looking legal system to support infrastructure and climate-related changes. Okay, Doc, let me welcome you to this.
Thank you.
This has been in the forefront for well over months, but right now it's turning to an argumentative issue with those for and those against, those threatening and those trying to clarify. So as we speak right now, this 5% at the end of the day is going to come out from the pocket of us. I almost did not include you because I know that you have a dump.
you know there's the bourgeoisie.
Yeah, they have full dumps. So good.
That's not
So
you see, it's absolutely unfortunate that we live in an environment where a lot of people run around with plenty of ignorance.
Okay.
And I think that is a problem. Fundamentally, people, even those who work, in short, we were having a meeting last week, and my friend was saying to me that I'm shocked that very senior government officers don't even have a hand on some of the reforms that have been put in place since 2009 in government. And so when they ask, they say, oh, we don't have. They say they don't have because they are not aware. And I think this is really the problem of ignorance. Again, going back to those old saying that if you want to hide anything from a black man, you write it in a book because they will never read it. These are the problem. Now, if you remember, when Obasanjo came in, there was a lot of issues on the road. And the issues then were the toll gates that were everywhere. And government wasn't making so much money from the toll gates. And then Obasanjo decided to take off the toll gate. Because the whole idea of the toll gate was to actually raise money for FEMA so that they can maintain all the roads. But unfortunately, many people who were working in the toll gate had their own printed receipts. And they were selling receipts, and money wasn't getting to FEMA or getting to federal government. And the queue or the traffic that are generated in those tolls were not adding up. Government is not making money, but people are paying. So what the government decided to do was decided to remove the toll gate and restructure the pricing of petroleum products. And this cost maintenance was inserted on the template for costing fuel. Nigeria has been paying 5%.
Not in our faces.
Yeah, but you don't know it. So the fact that they are writing the books and they are clarifying the issue does not make it new. So people should, what is the template for fuel costing? You have it, for example, the cost of transportation from one end to another was 6 naira on the fuel template. Cost of logistics, cost of batches. Then, of course, the cost of road maintenance was factored into it. And then, of course, the FEMA Act, when it was written in 2007, it was made part and parcel of it. So it's not a new law. So where is the hue and the cry coming from? Because you see the problem here is the fact that most of the time, some people, of course, misinformation because they are not aware, but there are also people who are deliberately disinforming the public because they want to score some points to say, oh, give a dog a bad name so you can hang it. So those things have been there.
Sir, they don't hang dogs anymore. They eat them now.
Yeah. No, they have always eaten dogs. My people in it, see. Yes, it's a delicacy.
So, okay, now, add this to it. If we are looking at 5% tax on fuel, okay, majorly PMS and diesel, that's what we are looking at.
Because it's the people that uses the toll gate.
And I think aviation fuel is also going to come to play.
No.
It's not going to come to play.
No.
Or PMS and diesel. Okay, now, is it going to be taken from point of dispense or from point of discharge on the depot?
It's already factored into the pump price of petrol.
Have we started paying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
No, have we started paying like now?
Now, that's what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
This thing
has been there.
Has been there.
Oh, we are paying already.
We are paying already.
Okay.
Because all this while you are saying that the petroleum price, people are talking about the landing cost of petrol.
Okay.
And then there are other associated costs that come with petrol.
Okay.
Now, these associated costs that come with the petrol are, one, cost of distribution.
Okay.
Which, of course, the people who are going to move it, because then we were solely depending on importation. So, you say for a truck that is moving a fuel from Apapa Depot here, for example, and it's going to Maiduguri, or going to Benin, or going to Ore, or whatever it's going, in that pump price that you're paying, whether it was at 700, at 300, at 180, at 800, in that pricing template, this money has been factored into it. Okay. So it's going to be paid at the pump price. So what it is that now we are going to have maybe government now saying that, was this money actually going to the government or going to FEMA? Probably with the e-government now, it is easier for government to be able to capture that whoever sells petrol, that there's a certain percentage of it that should come back to government as tax. Okay.
Going this particular route, let me come to you, Swift. Now, over time, we've seen that fuel has been sold. Education has come. Okay, this money has always been there. It's not new. How can government be able to now account for us and say, okay, good, from January to December, this is the 5% that came out. And for the major oil marketers and distributors and refiners, have they been remitting this 5%?
Okay, so before I run there, I want to break something down. I think I've always said it, and I'll keep saying it. Part of the issues the Tinubu administration has is, I would say their public relations is not amazing at all. So you see, the way the doctor has literally broken down this, I have seen media houses. This has been a sing-song for media houses for the past 1 week or 1.5 weeks. People have called in. Nigerians have cried. People have expressed their fears. It was just about 2-3 days ago that the government didn't even come out. It was Oyedele that came out to talk about it. And when I saw him talk, this a book kind of person. He was limited. His vocabulary was limited to reach the common man. And I kept looking. When he was explaining, it was like, oh, the tax has always been there. It didn't, and I was laughing. What he was supposed to say is, don't bother yourself. This law is not new. This law is like what you pay on education, on health. Government is already sorting this. But he couldn't, because he's in a different place from the common man. And so even when he still explained it, so media houses still took it as a fault because he made a statement and he said it is going to...
And they did not look for common man like us to explain.
And he said, yes, it's the truth. And he said...
Doctor, please don't anger us.
I'm going to tell you the truth. And he said it is going to be the Minister of Finance. But he just made... The only thing he said that made people's hearts at ease was the law will not take effect from January 2026, that he knows that's people's fear, that the law will not take effect from there, but that do not worry, it's going to be the Minister of Finance to actually, and I remembered I had a friend who was saying, no, this 5% has always been, that there was a time it was suspended, but it is back. So, somebody was saying that one should shut up, it's an APC person, another person, and I was just laughing, I was just at the background, because of course, I didn't want to say a lot. But one, there was something he noted, he talked about the harmony of law, which people must understand. These laws have always been there. Now we are having a new law. Instead of raising new laws, they decided to bring back the old laws that are there and put it back in place and just work on one or two things. They didn't increase it to a 10%. It has always been a 5%. And I think a lot of media houses should be embarrassed. The federal government needs to write to them, when you start conversations like this, you spur the people in wrong directions, then you should come out and have a public apology. Apologizing for those topics you have had, those topics that have taken Nigeria, because I sat in a keke and I was trying to explain to the keke man some days ago, and the guy was worried. 5%, that means what we will be paying now. Instead of people to be paying 300, you are paying this. And we're doing a lot of breakdown. That's the first problem I have, the relations. It's not well explained. The second problem I have is, like we say, we don't have a pricing control. So I was telling the keke man when he was talking, and I said, sir, fuel used to be 997, came down to 940 something. You were carrying 300 naira. For the past 6 months, fuel has been between 870. I said, that's 100 naira difference. He said, yes, but you are still carrying 300 naira. And he said, it's because, and I said, because there's no pricing law. I said, it's the same way the 5%, you won't even know when it comes and goes.
Okay. They won't know when it comes and goes.
Yes.
So if we calculate at 860 naira, 5% will be like 230 naira. No, 23 naira.
Good.
Sorry.
So they also said that it's not like the 5% is on every liter.
Okay, my math has to be good.
Which you must realize,
that's
the 5%, hold on.
43 naira.
The 5% is not on every liter.
Okay.
It's on like volumes. It's like your taxation generally. If you earn less than 800,000, you are not taxed.
How can you determine who earns more or not?
No, it's not by you. It's from the delivery, the pump prices. So there are certain amount, there's this volume you pick that is taxed on. If it's less than that particular volume, it's not taxed on. So like I said, it's just the laws that are not being set properly. Like in the Tinubu administration right now, if you are importing anything less than $3,000, $300, I mean, you are not being taxed.
That's 4 times in a year.
Good.
Specific.
Good.
That's going to cause a whole lot
hold on, because there's a particular website I get stuff from, and I know that they tell you tax-free, shipping free, because they have a way that they have found to package these packages, and they confirm that, okay, these packages are less than this amount, so they are coming to us at a cheaper price. But people that don't know will keep fighting the government. And when you are trying to explain to people, you now start to sound like, oh, you are too sympathetic with the government. Like I said, it is about prayer stunts. The government should have hushed. They should have stopped this since last week. They should have got people like Doctor that are well enlightened to sit down and do this analysis for a long time. And I think they still owe Nigerian people a proper analysis. They have intelligent people. They have engineers. They have people, you know, from Petrocam and all that work. They need to sit them down. They need to do videos. They need to go online, because online is the new medicine. And what people get online is more like information for them. That's what they hold on to. They really need to be very deliberate about this, because to me, they are just finishing their image and they are not doing anything about it. It hurts. Okay,
while it hurts, let's look at the explanation that came from Oyedele. Said this particular 5% is not going live. Now you are confusing me one way or the other. Doc, you said it's already there. That it's not new.
The law has been there, so yes, that means it's already
new.
there.
We all know it's been there, but have we been paying for it? Or is it something that they're going to add at a specific time?
Yeah, that is the point. You see, in the template of petroleum pricing, that thing is there.
But as you speak now, when I go to buy fuel, am I paying for it already?
That is what I'm saying. Because every liter of petrol you buy, there's a certain percentage of it that goes to different places. So, you see, the money comes in bulk.
Okay.
Now, then, of course, government says, okay, there's some levy for road maintenance. There's levy for distribution. And other levies that makes up the entire petroleum template.
But right now, distribution is Dangote if he succeeds in that.
Yeah, so, but you see, there's a tax on it. Yeah, for those people who pick from Dangote.
Okay.
So the template that NNPC created for the sale of petroleum product is what everybody is using.
Okay, but that template right now, since we've opened the market, is this going to be...
So you see, pricing is determined. NNPC says this is the range which you can sell. And what makes these price elements? Your inputs. So part of these things are factored into the pricing of petrol. So what I don't know is that has government actually, has FEMA actually be getting all of the money as it were? That's a different ballgame, because if FEMA was making all those money,
they would have come out to say
then by now we would have seen maybe the extent to which our roads were maintained, because they're all factored into pricing template. So the act that was written in 2007 is not new. The FEMA Act.
Okay.
That how will FEMA get money? And so it was said that this is part of how FEMA are going to get money, because we have removed the toll gates, and because there are no tolls anymore on federal highways. So, because the toll was generating money for the maintenance of the road, which Abinusho should have been. But now they have moved it. But I really would have preferred that if government was going to do like every other person has done elsewhere in the world. I see that in Canada. I see that in UAE. I see that where, of course, some certain roads are designated. I was going to travel in Nairobi that day, going to the airport, and the driver asked me, do you want to take the express or you want us to follow through Mombasa Road? And I looked at time. I had time. And I said, what's the implication of passing the express? He said, of course, if you pass the express, we pay 800 shilling extra.
Tax.
So if we pass Mombasa Road, then we can cope with the traffic and the rest of it. We will not pay the 800. So that's what governments all over the world have done. Nobody is building iron and brick kind of toll gates anymore. They are all electronics. Such that every vehicle that is registered in Nigeria has a wallet and a tag to it. That when you decide to use those roads where there are tolls, then they are automatically deducted from your wallet and they are sent straight to the Consolidated Revenue Fund or a special fund, special vehicle for public road that receive the fund. And then, of course, we can see on the dashboard how much money is collected daily, weekly, monthly, annually. And then, of course, people now begin to explain how the money is spent. Okay.
Now, to everybody out there, it's always good we get informed. We know things, not just knowing or for knowing's sake, but we are well informed before we take actions. And also, let's try our best to avoid crowd mentality. That herd mentality is something that has put us back for too long a time. Let's go to our second story for today, and it looks very well like the first two. Now, for those that are wondering, there is this particular strike action that has been brewing for a while. We'll go on a very short break, and when we return, we'll give you the full gist. Don't go anywhere. This is SBL.
Take Nigeria because it's the mind that needs to first of all be rebranded.
Ministry said it's going to be putting Nigerian labor, Nigeria content and materials first.
If you say Nigeria first and it is just us down here that, you know, are pushing that agenda, it's going to be a big struggle.
Do you think Nigerian firms, Nigerian organizations should start looking at getting their staff involved in this market or buying to keep for their staff?
Within this side, let's also learn citizen diplomacy. See something. This is SOUQ business landscape.